Baruch haba, and welcome back to another Torah portion reading. This reading is called Balak, and it is Numbers 22, verse 2 through 25, verse 9, and we will begin. Now Balak, the son of Zippor, saw the aloud all that Israel had done to the Amorites, and Moab was exceedingly afraid of the people because they were many, and Moab was sick with dread because of the children of Israel. So Moab said to the elders of Midian, "Now this company will lick up everything around us, as an ox licks up the grass of the field." And Balak, the son of Zippor, was king of the Moabites at that time. Then he sent messengers to Balaam, the son of Beor, at Pethor, which is near the river, in the land of the sons of his people, to call him, saying, "Look, a people has come from Mitzrayim. See, they cover the face of the earth, and are settling next to me. Therefore, please come at once, curse this people for me, for they are too many for me. Perhaps I shall be able to defeat them and drive them out of the land. For I know, that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse, or literally fear, is cursed." So the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the diviner's fee in their hand, and they came to Balaam and spoke to him the words of Balak. And he said to them, "Lodge here tonight, and I will bring back word to you, as Yahweh speaks to me." So the princes of Moab stayed with Balaam. Then Elohim came to Balaam and said, "Who are these men with you?" So Balaam said to Elohim, "Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent to me, saying, 'Look, a people has come out of Mitzrayim, and they cover the face of the earth. Come now, curse them for me. Perhaps I shall be able to overpower them and drive them out.' And Elohim said to Balaam, 'You shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed.' So Balaam rose in the morning and said to the princes of Balak, 'Go back to your land, for Yahweh has refused to give me permission to go with you.' And the princes of Moab rose and went with Balak, and went to Balak and said, 'Balaam refuses to come with us.' Then Balak again sent princes, more numerous and more honorable than they. And they came to Balaam and said to him, 'Thus says Balak, the son of Zippor, please let nothing hinder you from coming to me, for I will certainly honor you greatly, and I will do whatever you say to me. Therefore please come, curse this people for me.' Then Balaam answered and said to the servant of Balak, 'Though Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of Yahweh Eloheim, to do less or more. Now therefore please, you also stay here tonight, that I may know what more Yahweh will say to me.' And Elohim came to Balaam at night and said to him, 'If the men come to call you, rise and go with them, but only the word which I speak to you, that you shall do.' So Balaam rose in the morning, saddled his female donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. Then Elohim's anger was aroused because he went, and the angel of the, also known as the malach of Yahweh, took his stand in the way as an adversary, which the root is Satan, or Satan, against him. And he was riding on his donkey, and his two servants were with him. Now the donkey saw the angel, or the malach, of Yahweh standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. And the donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. So Balaam struck the donkey to turn her back onto the road. Then the malach, or angel of Yahovah, stood in a narrow path between the vineyards, with a wall on this side and a wall on that side. And when the donkey saw the malach of Yahovah, she pushed herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So he struck her again. Then the malach of Yahovah went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the donkey saw the malach, or angel of Yahovah, she lay down under Balaam. So Balaam's anger was aroused, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Then Yahovah opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you, that you have struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you have abused me. I wish there was a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you." So the donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey on which you have ridden ever since I became yours to this day? Was I ever disposed to do this to you?" And he said, "No." Then Yahovah opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel, or the malach of Yahovah, standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell flat on his face. And the malach of Yahovah said to him, "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come out to stand against you, because your way is perverse before me. The donkey saw me and turned aside from me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside from me, surely I would also have killed you by now and let her live." And Balaam said to the malach of Yahovah, "I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displeases you, I will turn back." Then the malach of Yahovah said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but only the word that I speak to you, that you shall speak." So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. Now when Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him at the city of Moab, which is on the border at the Arnon, the boundary of the territory. Then Balak said to Balaam, "Did I not earnestly send to you, calling for you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to honor you?" And Balaam said to Balak, "Look, I have come to you. Now have I any power at all to say anything? The word that Elohim puts in my mouth, that I must speak." So Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Hutzot. Then Balak offered oxen and sheep, and he sent some to Balaam and to the princes who were with him. So it was the next day that Balak took Balaam and brought him up to the high places of Baal, that from there he might observe the extent of the people. Chapter 23. Then Balaam said to Balak, "Build 7 altars for me here, and prepare for me here 7 bulls and 7 rams." And Balak did just as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, "Stand by your burnt offering, and I will go. Perhaps Yahovah will come to meet me, and whatever he shows me I will tell you." So he went to a desolate height, and Elohim met Balaam, and he said to him, "I have prepared the 7 altars, and I have offered on each altar a bull and a ram." Then Yahovah put a word in Balaam's mouth, and said, "Return to Balak, and thus you shall speak." So he returned to him, and there he was, standing by his burnt offering, he and all the princes of Moab. And he took up his oracle and said, "Balak, the king of Moab, has brought me from Aram, from the mountains of the east. Come, curse Yaakov for me, and come, denounce Israel." "How shall I curse?" whom El has not cursed? And how shall I denounce whom Yahovah has not denounced? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him, there, a people dwelling alone, not reckoning itself among the nations. Who can count the dust of Yaakov, or number 1/4 of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my end be like his. Then Balak said to Balaam, What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you have blessed them bountifully. So he answered and said, Must I not heed Aleph and Tav to speak what Yahovah has put in my mouth? Then Balak said to him, Please come with me to another place from which you may see them. You shall see only the outer part of them, and shall not see them all. Curse them for me from there. So he brought him to the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. And he said to Balak, Stand here by your burnt offering, while I meet over there. Then Yahovah met Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, Go back to Balak, and thus you shall speak. So he came to him, and there he was, standing by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab were with him. And Balak said to him, What has Yahovah spoken? Then he took up his oracle and said, Rise up, Balak, and hear. Listen to me, son of Zippor. El is not a man that he should lie, nor a son of man that he should repent. Has he said, and will he not do? Or has he spoken, and will he not make it good? Behold, I have received a command to bless. He has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. He has not observed iniquity in Yaakov, nor has he seen wickedness in Israel. Yahovah Eloheim is with him, and the shout of a king is among them. El brings them out of Mitzrayim. He has strength like a wild ox. For there is no sorcery against Yaakov, nor any divination against Israel. It now must be said of Yaakov and of Israel, Oh, what El has done! Look, a people rises like a lioness, and lifts itself up like a lion. It shall not lie down until it devours the prey, and drinks the blood of the slain. Then Balak said to Balaam, Will neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all. So Balaam answered and said to Balak, Did I not tell you, saying, All that Yahovah speaks, that I must do? Then Balak said to Balaam, Please come, I will take you to another place. Perhaps it will please Eloheim, that you may curse them for me from there. So Balak took Balaam to the top of Beor, that overlooks the wasteland. Then Balaam said to Balak, Build for me here 7 altars, and prepare for me here 7 bulls and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Now when Balaam saw that it pleased Yahovah to bless Israel, he did not go, as at other times, to seek to use sorcery, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam raised his eyes, and saw Israel encamped according to their tribes, and the spirit of Elohim came upon him. Then he took up his oracle and said, The utterance of Balaam, the son of Beor, the utterance of the men whose eyes are opened, the utterance of him who hears the words of El, who sees the vision of Shaddai, who falls down with eyes wide open. How lovely are your tents, Yaakov, your dwellings, Israel, like valleys that stretch out, like gardens by the riverside, like aloes planted by Yahovah, like cedars beside the waters. He shall pour water from his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters. His king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. El brings him out of Mitzrayim. He has strength like a wild ox. He shall consume the nations, his enemies. He shall break their bones and pierce them with his arrows. He bows down, he lies down as a lion, and as a lion, who shall rouse him? Blessed is he who blesses you, and cursed is he who curses you. Then Balak's anger was aroused against Balaam, and he struck his hands together, and Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies, and look, you have bountifully blessed them these 3 times. Now therefore flee to your place. I said I would greatly honor you, but in fact Yahweh has kept you back from honor. So Balaam said to Balak, Did I not also speak to your messengers whom you sent to me, saying, If Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of Yahweh to do good or bad of my own will. What Yahweh says, that I must speak. And now, indeed, I am going to my people. Come, I will advise you what this people will do to your people in the latter days. So he took up his oracle and said, The utterance of Balaam, the son of Beor, and the utterance of the man whose eyes are opened, the utterance of him who hears the words of El, and has the knowledge of Eloheim, who sees the vision of Shaddai, who falls down with eyes wide open. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and batter the brow of Moab, and destroy all the sons of tumult. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also his enemies shall be a possession. While Israel does valiantly, out of Jacob one shall have dominion, and destroy the remains of the city. Then he looked on Amalek, and he took up his oracle and said, Amalek was first among the nations, but shall be last until he perishes. Then he looked on the Kenites, and he took up his oracle and said, Firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is set in the rock. Nevertheless, Cain shall be burned. How long until Ashur carries you away captive? Then he took up his oracle and said, Alas, who shall live when El does this? But ships shall come from the coast of Cyprus, and they shall afflict Ashur and afflict Eber, which is the root of Hebrew, actually, and also he, until he perishes. So Balaam rose and departed and returned to his place. Balak also went his way. Now Israel remained in Acacia Grove, and the people began to commit harlotry with the women of Moab. They invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods. So Israel was joined to Baal of Beor, and the anger of Yahweh was aroused against Israel. Then Yahweh said to Moshe, Take all the leaders of the people and hang the offenders before Yahweh out in the sun, that the fierce anger of Yahweh may turn away from Israel. So Moshe said to the judges of Israel, Every one of you kill his men who were joined to Baal of Peor. And indeed, one of the children of Israel came and presented to his brethren a Midianite woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Now when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, Aleph and Tav, the man of Israel and the woman through her body. So the plague was stopped among the children of Israel, and those who died in the plague were 24,000. The way this verse is structured makes it sound like in the Hebrew that the Aleph and Tav is who thrusted them through. But that's just a side note. Also, as a side note, I wanted to take you to where Israel kills Balaam, the son of Beor, for what he told Balak, like the plan of having Israel fall. Their plan was to, I'll just read it. I'm in Numbers chapter 31, and this is verse 8. And actually, there's an Aleph and Tav right in front of the word for Balaam, Ve'et, Balaam. And the Aleph and Tav, Balaam, the son of Beor, they also killed with the sword. So it sounds like here that the Aleph and Tav, with the Vav in the front of it, kills Balaam, the son of Beor, with the sword. And the reason they did this is in verse 15 of chapter 31. And it says, "And Moses said to them, Have you kept all the women alive? Look, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to trespass against Yahovah in the incident of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation of Yahovah." So after Balaam had blessed the people of Israel, he went to Balak, probably so he could get the money. I don't know that for sure. But he counseled Balak to send Midianite women in among the Israelites. And the last place I'd like to take you is to Revelation chapter 2, verse 14. And this is Yeshua speaking. And he says, "But I have a few things against you, because you have there those who hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to put a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed to idols, and to commit sexual immorality. Thus you also have those who hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate." So Yeshua is warning us against the doctrine of Balaam. All right, thank you for joining us. Have a blessed week, Shavua Tov, and we'll see you next time.